What is the best way to fully support you financially?
Well, I'd say subscribe on all three platforms, but I get paid the most. I earn the most from Spotify or my website. And from a learning perspective, the website's got more content and more, it's got the books and everything. So if you're just gonna pick one, I would say the best place to be would be the website, and the link is obviously pinned to the top of the chat. So Doyle Conrad says everyone keeps telling me not to take an ex back because it's not a good look. Being dumped is disrespectful, they say. They didn't have value. Corey, what would you do? Well, I see these smart ass comments from retards that see the headlines in a lot of my videos. An X is an X for a reason. You're an idiot. You'd never go back. But I'd say probably 70-80% of the guys that come to me, just like the success story that's going to be published on Wednesday, it's one of the members only. This particular guy I was talking about him earlier. He was a widower. He had 3 kids. His wife just died suddenly. I guess she had some kind of heart defect they didn't know about until she dropped dead one day. And he had 3 young kids, so he's a single dad all of a sudden. And in his case, he was with a girlfriend that he got after his wife passed away for 6 years. But he was doing and saying a lot of things that were just unattractive. And so when he got dumped, he didn't see it coming. He thought everything was great. And it's just she just came to him and says she wasn't feeling it anymore. And he begged, he pleaded, he tried being friends with her for a period of time, hoping that that would work. And then he eventually came across my work, and then he nipped that shit in the bud. And then a year later, after he had mastered my book, he was dating and having a good time. He was actually out on a date with another girl, and then runs into this woman's daughter. And then, of course, first thing she does is calls her mom. Oh my God, I ran into your ex-boyfriend, and he was with another girl, and she's really pretty. And then the very next day, first thing in the morning, she gets a phone call, or he gets a phone call or a message from the ex. And so most of the guys that come to me, it's what they did was they talked, texted, and in essence chased the woman that they wanted to be with out of their lives. So they got dumped, and they didn't want to be dumped. And it was the reason they got dumped is because a lot of unattractive behavior. And so if you're a guy that got dumped because you in essence didn't act like a man, you were displaying too much beta male behavior and too much of a beta male vibe, and you get dumped, rejection breeds obsession, you're going to want to get the girl back. We're not talking about bad relationships where the two of you just don't get along. It's where a guy turned the woman off to the point where she didn't want to be with him anymore because her feelings were gone. And so in most of those cases, at least with the guys that are following me, they're coming to me because their relationship broke up, they got dumped, and they didn't want to be dumped. And so if that's your case, if you turn the girl off you were with in a relationship, or a girl you just started dating, maybe you dated for 3 or 4 weeks, and then she started dating somebody else, or she went back to her ex or whatever, you got to figure out because like my experience when I was younger, I was getting rejected for the same reasons. It's like women I really liked and who really liked me initially, instead of their interest going up over the weeks that I dated them, their interest would go down. And I could never get a straight answer why. Even my friends that were good with women, they couldn't tell me what I was doing wrong or what I need to do different. I would usually just get, oh, just be a dick and that'll solve your problems. Which, that was unhelpful as well. And so eventually, after studying and applying and then getting consistent results, I connected the dots. And that's what I do for other people. So, Doyle, you can't live your life according to other people's expectations. And you have to live your life in a way that pleases you first, not other people. And if you lost a girl because you displayed unattractive behavior, you wanted to get back together with her, well, if other people don't have anything nice to say, tell them to shut the fuck up. I mean, I did that when I was younger. I did that with my dad. And like sometimes you just gotta be like, I'm gonna live my life. You either support me, or if you don't support me, then I don't want to fucking hear it. So, because no matter what you do, if you live your life according to other people's expectations, somebody's gonna get disappointed. Somebody's gonna be upset with you. Somebody's not gonna like it. I mean, every day it's like I can go into my emails or I can go into social media And there's a ton of comments and a ton of emails of people that are, they don't like the way I talk, they don't like the way I look, they don't like my voice, they don't like the way I live my life, and they're fucking lecturing me as if they know anything about me, even though I never talk about it outside the context of what's in my book and what I do for a living. Because when the camera is off, I'm just a regular dude living my life. I'm not gonna, every single thing that's going on in my life, I don't share it with people. It's only the people that are close to me know what's going on, and I like it that way. In the book, it says, gentlemen don't kiss and tell, and I live that principle. And for us guys, if you can't keep your fucking mouth shut and you start blabbing about fucking the girl in the office or the secretary or this girl you knew from the gym or whatever, that shit gets around and you end up cockblocking yourself. And that was something that I learned back when I was in real estate. I was sharing the stuff as I was learning with some of the guys that I worked with because they had the same problems. And instead of them growing from that and learning and saying, hey, thanks for helping me, they were going and gossiping about me. And on top of that, one of the girls I was dating, they were talking to her on the phone. And so they would say shit that I said to them in confidence, and it would get back to the girls that I was dating, and it was not helpful. And so you got to maintain operational security, and you got to keep things to yourself. And that's why the best response is always, gentlemen, don't kiss and tell. It's really none of their fucking business. As long as you're happy and you live your life the way you want to live, that's all that really fucking matters.